Here are with Charlie KIRK as he debate these Democrat students, Kamala Harris lover, to want to vote for Donald J. Trump. Of course, I believe that this dialogue must be a very interesting one, but then therefore, let's listen to some of the policy they discuss before he changes his mind. So without any further ado, let's get on to this video and check this out.
7 million new people under the age of 30 bought homes when Donald Trump was president.
Woohoo!
Yeah, isn't that great?
That's great. I love homes.
Yes, good. Now it is harder than ever to buy a home. When Donald Trump was president, interest rates were 2%. Now they are upwards of 10%.
Wasn't that also partially caused by COVID? I'm not a professional on this.
No, it's fine. Yes, of course it was partially COVID, but the point, a lot of it was bounce back. Donald Trump oversaw the greatest economy in American history for people our age. So yes, but to ask the question of deregulation, he got rid of 5 regulations for every 1 new regulation that he put in.
Okay.
And a lot of it is just paperwork. It's stuff that would drive you insane. Let me actually, so here's a good example. I'm guessing you have student loans, right? FAFSA? No, you don't have student loans?
Not yet. I'm a freshman, so.
Well, how are you paying for college?
I mean, I don't have. I have FAFSA money.
Okay, that's a student loan, right?
Well, it's a grant, so I don't have to pay it
Okay,
back.
so I'm paying for your college.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well,
so,
and when I graduate, I'll be paying.
So got it. That's
but
fine.
Yeah.
So
my parents are too.
that's fine. Okay.
Well,
That's fine. I'm not insulting. It's fine. It's okay. I hope you learn a lot. It's OPM. Other
just
people's
make
money.
the dig. Yeah.
No, it's fine. But no, so when you were filling out those forms, was there ever a time where you felt a little exhaustive and it was like a little duplicative?
No, the forms this year were actually really good. They were. For me, it was pretty good.
Does anyone sympathize with the amount of forms you guys have to fill out?
I mean, if anybody here is your supporter, they're gonna agree with you. But yeah.
Well, no, it's just a matter of like observing reality, right? Let me get to the point, which is important. Okay. So the financial crisis comes. They say it was deregulation.
Sure.
So we have thousands of pages. So if you guys want to go buy a home, you know this. You have to sign hundreds of pieces of paper, okay? And your parents can tell you hundreds of pieces of paper. So a small bank, let's say like the Bank of Madison.
Yeah.
They have like 15 employees.
Sure.
So when they have to fill out pieces of paper, that is time, energy that they can't afford. JP Morgan is a multi-trillion-dollar company. For them, extra pieces of paper is nothing. So who does regulation hurt more? The local Bank of Madison, Wisconsin, or JP Morgan?
But are you not cherry picking like what regulation is? Like I'm talking about environmental regulation.
I've already told you. So you have a very specific, narrow view of regulation.
No, I'm asking you about a specific type of regulation.
I've already told you on the environmental side. But let me be very clear.
That you're
most
pro
regulation is
environmental
you know, most regulation is paperwork, right?
Sure.
You should go read the National Registry. I encourage you guys to do it. It is millions and millions of pages of unnecessary things that have to be notarized, and a lawyer has to sign it, and then it has to be a committee. And small businesses don't have the bandwidth or the money to comply with that, whereas big businesses do, right?
Yeah. How do you suppose we regulate them?
That's the question, right? Is that the government also sucks and big corporations suck, so what's the solution?
So you'd call for like a complete governmental reform? Would you call for a stronger federal government?
Probably not. No, I think that probably empowering the little against the big through increased competition and entrepreneurialism is probably the best solution.
But so you're still controlling like monopolies and so forth because
no, most
like
monopolies
Amazon
right now are made possible thanks to the government. So for example, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, they remain vaccine manufacturers because of the government
funding.
And the government pumps tons of money in them through NIH funding and vaccine funding. Same could be said for the biggest food companies. They get huge agricultural subsidies. Big oil companies get big oil subsidies. Yeah, I mean, anyway.
She's mad at me this whole time, but she
will
agree
but
with
I'll summarize this conversation. I think you're coming at this in good spirit. Is that when you increase the paperwork burden and the needless amount of committees and lawyers, regulations, and accountants, it's harder for the next Elon Musk to found Tesla. It's harder for the next entrepreneur to start the next great company because he has to spend all of his time on compliance and not on wealth creation or entrepreneurial activity. Donald Trump wants to liberate the American entrepreneur to not be bogged down by unnecessary rules, regulations, and paperwork, and instead be worried about creating jobs and creating a lot of wealth.
Okay.
All right, who are you voting for?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably Kamala.
Why?
Or I'll just write somebody in, but probably Kamala. It's just my views.
What's her greatest accomplishment?
Kamala's greatest accomplishment? I mean, I don't know. I don't.
No. Can you name a single accomplishment?
I don't follow politics that much, to be honest. I couldn't name Trump's.
But then why Kamala? Because you just like instinctively said Kamala.
Because I'm a Democrat. I'm a registered Democrat.
But Can you just help me out?
Because
Like, what is your
I've seen Project 2025. I don't really agree with a lot of this
like
stuff.
what? Like what?
I mean, dude, what do you want me to say? I told you I'm not a
Anything.
professional on this stuff. Anything?
Yeah, I mean, you're
Anything.
voting for Kamala. I'm curious why.
Should I not vote?
I mean, I think you should vote for Trump, obviously.
Oh.
I don't.
Why
I don't
should
think
I
you
vote for Trump?
Well, because you'll be wealthier, happier. There won't be World War III. We'll have a border.
Can you tell me why?
Yeah, absolutely. Because for 4 years we saw that people your age were able to own homes. Your wages went up. We saw
People
record.
my age. What? I'm 18. People my 18 years old buying
correct.
homes.
Yeah, a lot of people 18 actually work and don't go to college, believe it or not. I know that's hard to believe.
It's not hard to believe. I have a brother who's a blue-collar worker. He's an electrician.
Okay, so then you understand it. So blue-collar workers saw their wages go up the most under Donald Trump. Younger voters were able to buy homes under Donald Trump. We saw the greatest economy in American history. Donald Trump had peace across the world. His first president.
But isn't peace with who? I mean,
Well, Putin did not invade Ukraine. Israel was not at war with Gaza.
No.
It was the first president in 40 years.
but wouldn't you say,
Hold on.
couldn't
It
you
was the
argue that
first
some of his
president-
policies allowed this to happen?
One
I
second.
mean,
There's a first
ahead.
president in 40 years where we did
Yeah.
not have a new war, correct? We had new wars under Clinton, new wars under Bush, new wars
Okay.
under Obama, new
Okay.
wars under Biden. But Donald Trump, we had no new wars. Why is that?
I don't know. You're the expert.
Because he was a great president. Because we had
Because
we had peace treaties. Because it was peace through strength. The point is that we don't have to guess about the type of
So
president
are we
Donald Trump
weaker?
is.
Are we weaker with like a democratic leader?
Absolutely.
That's the argument. Interesting.
Well, think about it. Our dollar is worth less. BRICS is ascendant. Putin invades Ukraine. China
but
is wealthier than ever.
Trump. How many pictures did Trump take with
Well,
Putin?
hold on. This is interesting. So pictures are a bad thing?
Well,
wait, hold
like,
on.
why
Under
is he
O-
so associated with
Interesting.
him?
That's an interesting question. So
Well,
under
okay, I'm
Obama,
glad it is.
Putin takes over Crimea.
Okay.
Under Biden, Putin invades eastern Ukraine. Yet his buddy with Trump, he doesn't take any land of Ukraine. Why is that?
I
Maybe
don't know.
because Donald Trump used diplomacy, and he was able to have Vladimir Putin understand that you take a square inch of Ukraine, we will launch rockets into Moscow.
Would we really do that? Do you think we would have done that under
Vladimir,
Trump?
it doesn't even matter if you think it or not. What we know is the reality is that hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians did not die under Donald Trump's watch. They did die under Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Sure. Yeah. I can't argue with that. I mean, I don't.
How many American soldiers died under Trump?
Very few.
How many died under Biden?
A lot, actually.
How many?
13 in one day at the Bagram withdrawal in Afghanistan.
Okay.
Yeah, and not to mention the American hostages killed just the other day.
Where in
Gaza.
In Gaza.
Yeah, they were American passport holders that were American
Were they like
citizens.
press people?
No, they're American citizens that were at a rock concert, like a rave concert in southern Israel, were kidnapped by
whack.
Gaza. So we are on the verge of World War III. Our dollar is worth less than ever before. It is harder than ever to buy a home. The economy is worse for everyone in this audience than it has been in over 30 years.
You're saying all this stuff, but again, like I came to you about environmental regulations.
No, for sure.
and
But
stuff.
like
this is.
No, I know, but I just want to go back to. I asked you.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can vote whoever you
I mean,
want
this is like led to
but-
this. I understand that I've contributed to it.
No, I just, it's totally fine. Obviously, I asked you why you'd vote for Kamala. You gave an answer.
Yeah.
And you have
well,
a right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
I mean, I will go home and do research.
come back and tell me an accomplishment. And
When will you be back next?
I will actually be at the Alabama-Wisconsin game next Saturday.
Alabama,
So come
Wisconsin.
find me.
We're gonna get.
Yeah. So if you find I'm gonna go Badgers. If
We're losing.
if you find a single
I have a
accomplishment
hat?
of hers, only if you say you're voting for Trump.
I'll take it.
Yeah. This young lady gets a hat. But if you find an accomplishment, come find me. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate the dialogue.
Wait, what if I say I'll vote for Trump?
I don't
Can
believe
get
you
the
at this
hat?
point. Thank you.
Wow, that's very interesting. We're listening to Charlie KIRK and this very young man having a dialogue concerning Trump, Kamala, and then some of the respective policies they are coming to do. Now, as the young man pointed out that he has looked at Project 2025 and then he does not agree with some of those things. And then when he was asked to point out some of the things that he do not agree with the Republican Project 25, then he says that he cannot be able to, and then he was not able to point out anything, even though the Project 2025, even Trump himself in a sense denied it, that he does not know that people just come up and then they write some bunch of stuffs and then all that, but then he does not in a sense agree with even some of those things. So those things are not even directly innocent from Trump, you understand, himself. But then looking at some of the things that Charlie Kirk, you understand, went on to elaborate, you understand, to the young man by asking him to point out some of the policy that Kamala is bringing in that is making him wanting to vote her. But then still he was not able to point out one thing. But then the only thing he was saying is because he's a registered, you understand, voter, and then therefore he wished to vote for Kamala Harris. Well, that's his own, you understand, right, just like any other person. But then nevertheless, when you look at, you understand, some of the things Charlie talk about, you understand, like the international policy, how Trump was able to handle things with some of these war leaders, Putin, you understand, for instance. And then you agree with me that, of course, in a sense, Trump did, in a sense, a very remarkable, in a sense, thing, because during his tenure, we are not hearing some of those things, but then currently, we can all see what that is currently, in a sense, going on, in a sense, all over the world. But then during Trump, in a sense, some of those things were not happening, and then that's why we could talk about, in a sense, the Russia taking over, in a sense, Ukraine, only Israel and the Gaza, and some of these things. And then because of their action, you know, a lot of people, you know, have lost their lives. So imagine Trump could have been, you know, the president. Maybe the world could have been, you know, at peace. But this is the problem, you understand, we are finding ourselves. And then that's the reason we are saying that what, just vote Trump back, so that at least that can be able to help to restore some of those things. As been said by Trump that even at day one, when he has been declared, you understand, the winner of the November election, he is going to call, you understand, Putin and then all those things, and then the war even in Ukraine, you understand, we stop. And I still believe that what is currently happening between Israel and Gaza, I believe that everything, you understand, will stop. You understand? And immediately some of these things, in a sense, happen, then what do you think happened to society? What actually happened to economy? You see that people would begin to grow because people want to invest, you understand, in a place that is what, safe. But because if the place, you understand, is not safe, who would like to carry his money or his resources to go and maybe start up a business where there is war? Nobody, you understand, does that. And then that's why what we are encouraging people that what this is the right choice. Of course, Trump may not be, but then looking at some of the precedents or things that have happened, you understand, in the past, you agree with me that, you understand, he happens to be the best candidate, you understand, that the American people need at the moment. I know that a lot of you have thought an opinion concerning this, and I wanted to drop it at the comment section, and may God bless you as you do so. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reaction, like, share and subscribe, and if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Goodbye.